A hospital at night is a completely different place. During the day, it feels like any other busy organism. People rushing, talking, arguing, laughing, everything moves, everything lives. But at night, the hospital stops pretending to be just a building. The corridors stretch longer, the shadows grow deeper, and the silence begins to feel as if it has intentions of its own. It was my first night shift, and I remembered it immediately. Too clearly, I had taken a job as an orderly at an old city hospital. The building had been standing there for decades, from a time when comfort didn't matter, only that the walls would last. They told me the job was quiet, that at night almost nothing ever happened, that I just needed to be there. The corridors followed one another endlessly, narrow, identical, poorly lit. The lights didn't simply shine, they hesitated, as if each one was unsure whether it should keep going. Sometimes the light flickered, sometimes it lingered a second longer than it should have, and every time it did, it felt like the darkness was deciding whether to stay. At the station, I was met by a nurse, a woman in her 50s, with tired eyes and the calm of someone who had seen too much to be surprised anymore. Her voice was steady, too steady for a place like this.
Don't rush at night,
She said.
and don't do more than you have to.
She turned to leave, then stopped.
If you hear a call bell, think about where it's coming from.
I asked what she meant. After a short pause, she said.
Don't answer calls from empty rooms.
She left, and I was alone. The hospital wasn't empty. I knew that. Patients were sleeping somewhere. Doctors were on duty somewhere. But it felt as if they were all very far away. Not in this place. Not in this night. Sometimes I heard the low hum of ventilation. Sometimes the quiet clicking of pipes. And sometimes silence fell. So thick it made me wonder if my hearing had stopped working. About an hour into the shift, a number lit up on the patient call panel. The glow was faint. It stayed for a few seconds and went dark. I told myself it was just a malfunction. Old equipment, nothing more. A few minutes later, it lit up again. The same number, 317. I knew the hospital layout. The third wing had been closed for years. Officially, there were no rooms there, and no patients. I asked the security guard.
Room 317?
He repeated, looking at me a little too closely.
There is no such room.
He didn't say anything else. Time passed. I almost convinced myself it was just fatigue. And then I heard it. A sound. Quiet. Metallic. Careful. A call bell. It wasn't sharp. It wasn't urgent. It sounded as if whoever pressed it was afraid of being heard. The panel lit up again. 317. And at that exact moment, every other sound disappeared. The ventilation stopped. The lights no longer hummed. Even my own breathing suddenly felt too loud. The hospital was holding its breath. I took a step forward. The corridor leading to the closed wing looked darker than the rest, as if the lights there never turned on completely, leaving the corners untouched. With every step, it grew colder, and not just in temperature. I felt like I wasn't walking alone. Not ahead of me, not behind me, beside me, I stopped. The bell rang again. This time it was very close. I looked up and saw a sign on the wall. The paint was almost completely worn away, but the number was still visible. 317. I stood in front of the door. It was closed. And at that moment, from the other side, someone very slowly pressed the call button.